Right, hello and Croeso. His short videos are going down very well, and I'm going to talk again about this book, King Arthur Conspiracy. Everything's backwards on the camera. Right, earlier video, please have a look. I'm trying to gauge if people want me to reprint this, because it's a big job. It's a huge book, alright? And I thought it might be helpful for people if I work my way through, and I was going to try and pick a little bit out of the different sections of the book. It is huge, alright? So here's something from the introduction, which I think is quite important. We're talking about the maps behind, that could give evidence to there being a 6th century migration of Welsh folk under Maddock and Arthur to America. Okay, so I'm on page IV, so Roman numerals 4. What was not known for some time to Alan Wilson and Baron Blackett was that Gerhard Kramer, the famous 16th century cartographer known as Mercator. So Mercator's real name was Gerhard Kramer. I love the little gems you find in these books. Was corresponding with John Dee, the court mathematician and necromancer for Queen Elizabeth I. In this correspondence between Dee and Mercator, a letter was sent by Mercator that referred directly to the story of King Arthur's voyages into the far northern oceans in the 6th century. This information came from Bob McCann of Yowie Bay, Australia. In this letter, Mercator cited sources showing that some 4,000 descendants of survivors of members of a supposedly lost expedition led by King Arthur still survived in America. And the proof was that 8 of these descendants had arrived at the court of the King of Norway in AD 1354, some 138 years before Columbus sailed. This letter written by Mercator exists, and it has been translated and was published in E.G.R. Taylor, 1956, quotes a letter dated 1577 from Mercator to John Dee, Imago Mundi, close quotes, volume 13, pages 56 to 68. I have found this in the past on the internet. You can't get it, or at least you could. If you find it, download it, put the link up, please, because these things do disappear. The original letter is in the British Library, MSS, the manuscripts, Cottonian, and it's a long reference, Vitellius C7F264, etc. Right. The extraordinary maps drawn by Mercator as early as 1538 showed amazing details of the coastlines of the North and South American continents, which were at that time still undiscovered, and equally remarkable detail of also undiscovered Antarctica. This production and publication of accurate maps of as then supposedly undiscovered continents by Mercator and the other early cartographers was a subject of a thorough research project conducted by Professor Charles H. Hapgood, published in his The Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings. Book also worth tracking down if you can, please. The ancient maps of Antarctica actually showed the correct land geography before the land was covered by ice. Professor Hapgood and his colleagues came to no firm conclusion on the origins of the sources of information for these maps, and examined all manner of possible sources with a quite normal total exclusion of the ancient British. It could have come from anywhere. Not Britain. No. This happens all the time. This is what Britain's history is all about. So the early maps of Mercator and his... which, if you think about it, Britain and Ireland are the nearest European points to America. But they don't get considered as a possibility. Isn't it weird? It sort of gets through to you how weird this is. Anyway, the early maps of Mercator and his correspondence with the Welshman John Dee supports the massive array of evidence in the form of manuscripts and inscribed stones, which details the voyages of 562, 573, and 574 made from Britain to America. The problem facing researchers is one where it is difficult to trace and assemble the widely scattered evidence, and that evidence is forbidden and censored by academia. One lesson that the researchers of this volume were constantly compelled to relearn is that not all the evidence is concealed and not known, nor is it necessary to travel to faraway places to seek out hidden knowledge, as what is sought is often freely available. It's getting harder, some of it, but don't forget, they did a lot of their work before the internet. At least one ancient 6th century British Cymric manuscript records an epic poem which contains the phrase concerning the existence of the Americas, which states concerning this knowledge, quotes, according to the ancients. This clearly implies a historical tradition that more ancient people knew of the Americas. And then we got about the Christian Bible and various other things. That's just in the introduction. This book is ramajam, 500 odd pages of great stuff. So please find the video where I ask the question about whether or not we should republish this, or you just want to wait for each topic area to be appearing as its own book, as will be happening either way. So it's not like we go for the reprint. That doesn't happen. It's just give me some feedback. It's expensive and a big project to make this available again. All right. So I'll be keeping lots of these coming up. So until the next time, Hedwig.